Hey guys, back here with like a little video essay type thing with the shit from last month. I'm still relatively on time with this. I have kind of a schedule. I miss a day every now and then, but I can only do so much with this game, right? So we're gonna be going over the three, and 4 star grids from last month, being Nose Pass, Marley and Arcanine, and Toucanon. I just don't remember names. Oh yeah, that is Roxanne. I like didn't wake up that long ago. Got work today. So yeah, I'm just gonna get this out there. But that's not gonna interrupt the length of this video. So Nose Pass. Base kit wise, like let's say you get a 4 star, right? She has her defenses aren't the greatest. Speed pretty bad. Stats aren't the greatest. Like in general. Like you would have like even with 6 star stats, not exactly that great stat wise. Now, all that she has is Surging Sand 5, which, with these moves being Ancient Power, Wide Guard, she doesn't even benefit off of Surging Sand. So, what did they do with this unit? What they did is that they prioritized the Wide Guard and the buffing. And also, this unit is a support. So, if this unit were to get an EX, that's a viable option. So they took what was kind of meant to be a DPS and turned it into more of a support of what she's supposed to be. So we got Ancient Power, 10% chance of raising all of your basic stats by 1, X Defense All, so you get all out defense at the +4, Study Buddies, so you can top off ally special attack and raise their speed. So, well, actually you're like mostly a battery for special attack, so +4 special attack, +4 speed, not bad. Wide guard, if you don't know how this works, it's very similar to King Shield, except you block an AoE. I'm not going to read this because I don't want to. Sync, 500 base power, no additional effects. So this would be your support EX, assuming she gets an EX. She doesn't have an EX yet, so I can't really comment on that. Now, you should have her 3 out of 5 because she's a 3-star, so I'm just going to assume that. If you're brand new, you're probably signed for Giovanni, you probably signed for Ho-Oh, you probably have at least 2. Just gonna be blunt about it. So we have passives like Sand Shelter, which would help with Surging Sand, so it's an improvement. You could use her with Olivia for the Rock Theme skill to buff her speed, but then just another attack supporter. She doesn't buff crit in any way. That's like one of my things about her. One of my very few things is that she doesn't buff crit. Like if she had Study Buddies Critical Squad instead of Barricade Buddies, I think she would have been a lot better. Being able to raise someone's crit up to +2, to just able to top that off whenever. I think that's very viable. With tying it to special attack and speed, actually that might have been too broken. Yeah, it probably would have been too overtuned. But yeah, her not buffing crit is definitely a demerit. X Tensile all shielded / NPR, so you can get out defense up to +6. Special defense is stuck at +2, assuming you get this ability, so you can use it to top off if you have someone else. Survival mentality. So if you like to play with pinches, you can do that and just give yourself some damage reduction with the Barricade Buddies. Soothing Sand also benefits off of the sand. Surging Sand, so you get yourself an HP regen tick when you're dealing with the sand team. Sand to time, with your base speed being like less than 200 regardless, you're not getting much benefit from that. However, it would benefit allies because you're raising your speed, but personally, I wouldn't recommend it. Endurance, it's just a free, hey, I live at 1 HP. For someone who's meant to be a support, meant to take focus, I think that's pretty good. Defenses can be lowered, not bad. I will first go in bending because you can get that up to +6 pretty easily. Whoops. You have Adrenaline. Now, Adrenaline would be way better if she had a support EX. For a lucky skill, I would probably put Adrenaline with that in mind. Because everyone at this point is shifting away from Vigilance. Vigilance is a good placeholder, but Adrenaline, if she were to get an EX, would be best in slot in my opinion. Unless there's something I'm not thinking of off the tip of my head. Ancient Power Swag Bag, so you could raise your stats a little bit more. And just by spamming it as your spam move, once you're done with your buffs, let's say you don't need defense, and you get allies speed up to +4. At that point, just swag bag it. Swag bag up to your +6. Get yourself a little bit of offenses. It is what it is. Wide guard NPR. So wide guards are one-time use. So with NPR, you can just keep getting it back, especially in CS, and Araquanid is pretty good at this as well. When you sit there, block, get it back, block, get it back, block. So it helps when you kill the middle in CS and you struggle that a little bit for move gauge at the end. You also have block in charge, so your wide guard is pretty much free. Granted, you need to consume the move gauge first, but it's fine. Block and heal, 20% chance of healing by about 20% when you nullify a move. So you can have this as your main source of HP. Actually, I think healthy healing would be best on this unit. Yeah, I think healthy healing. To give, especially when you're being tanked, just to give yourself some sort of HP sustainability. I think that'd be pretty good, actually. I haven't seen this unit used that much post-grid, but pretty much, yeah, she became a better support. I don't know what people are running for lucky skills, but yeah, I think healthy healing, vigilance, and adrenaline are all viable options. Adrenaline more so when EX comes. Quote-unquote meta-wise, she is our only other wide guarder, so if you need wide guard for any reason, she is very good for that if you don't own Araquanid. So it's like a free-to-play Araquanid, but with less defensive capabilities, because Araquanid has Flame Guard, and I think Water Guard as well. I don't really remember. I haven't used Araquanid in a very long time. I just know she's our only other wide guard user. She has Propelling Move, Leech Life. So Araquanid is just a more sustainable version of this, but also you have a different type skill and whatnot. So very good for what she can do, but I wish she did a little bit more. It would have been amazing. And EX would have been amazing for her as well. But they gave it to Toucannon, I think. It was Toucannon, right? Yeah, I think it was Toucannon. I don't really remember. My god, I'm so tired. Okay, so Toucannon, right? Strike, flying type. Yeah, we'll transition right into this. Planned. SMH. So, all she has is Piercing Gaze. Piercing Gaze is not a bad ability by any means, but this being the only ability when your moves have 100% accuracy just isn't necessary? Like, I don't know. It's just not necessary. So moves, you have Peck, 24 base power, 100 accuracy, 1 bar. X attack, she gets her attack up to +4, so you just need to top that off. I'm reading that later. Second Wind applies critical hit next to the user and applies Endure. So you can do some very funny, redirection shenanigans, very similar to Grimsley. The user takes a counterattack position. Using this move again will leave the posture. No other actions can be taken while in this posture. The user will leave if it's attacked by a move when in the posture, then it attacks. If this move was a physical move, the opponent is burned. So you can use this to activate Burn, to trigger Burn synergy. For some pairs, granted, no one from flying needs that, but herself, so that's fine. But yeah, Beak Blast, Inspire Ear right here. Very same thing that Grimsley has, of where when you use Metal Burst, you take focus, you take the hit, you hit back. Granted, Grimsley does this harder and better, and I think they could have took some notes from that, but that's perfectly fine. So you have Burn Synergy here, so 50% with Flying Zone. That's super strong. Granted, the BP is only 90, that's fine. But having an innate 100% is not bad at all. And especially because this unit has Haymaker with a base 300 move, and since this got the EX, I'm very sure she did, that's AoE. This unit can give herself super effective up with her TM, or it's a chance to. You're able to do redirection stuff with Beak Blast, Endure the hits. Critical hit next. You have Eagle Eye, so you can spam Peck to raise your crit rate. You have Peck Defense Crush. You have TM Shielding Strikes, which you can raise your defense so you can live better from whatever physical attacks you need to take to hit back, so that's fine. Sterner stuff reduces damage hit by physical moves, so you can apply physical damage reduction, you can raise your defense. You have First Aid if you need that. So if you want to go pure counter stuff, you can go Redirect, Super Prep, and just beef up your Beak Blast as much as possible. But to then just have someone else who can then have someone else who can either max out her crit because you wouldn't be able to fit Eagle Eye in that, or if you're fine with the super effective next, no, not super effective next. If you're fine with the critical hit next, you can do that as well and not even worry about crit rate. Just someone to max out her attack, maybe a little bit of speed because, well, depends on who else you use. But yeah, Flying Zone, flinches. She's a very interesting character. I think Beak Blast has potential to hit pretty hard. Now, I don't remember seeing this used, but I think this would hit at least decently hard. I think it has potential. But the AoE sync with Haymaker is definitely a very good shout. So if you want to go with a sync nuke setup, I think that's very viable. If you want to use her as a physical tank, I think that's also viable. Because some CS stages are just purely physical stuff. So you can easily go 30% down damage reduction. Use Sabrina for Reflect if you want. Raise your defenses with Shielding Strikes up to +4. So if you want something to top that off, you can. You can easily use her as a physical wall. Like, that's definitely a viable option. Now, granted, if Lesson Burn didn't take off the attack reduction, the burn she gave would have been so much more valuable. But because of how Lesson Burn works, it's just less valuable initially. So, is this unit good? With where Flying is right now, I think she's a decent free-to-play option, but there's definitely a skill cap. You need to know when to use Beak Blast. You need to know when to redirect. You need to know when to reapply your Endures. So there's definitely a skill cap with this unit, but if you learn how to use her, you could take care of pretty much any Flying weak stage. Because you have a lot of flinch support with Flying, so you can easily just manipulate the turns to be, okay, the middle attack me. So you just smack the middle as hard as you can. Very, very viable. I don't think she's bad, but I don't think she's that great either. She has her uses, but you just gotta find them. And I'm not here to tell you that. Now, last pair, we have Marley and Arcanine, which I'm gonna say this right now, in my opinion, this is the best unit from this patch. So, we got support. All she has is haste. Whoops. She has haste, speed can be lowered. With what she does, I don't think this is bad. So, stat-wise, you have 255 speed initially, 703 HP, so you're actually a pretty good tank. If you were to get her to 4-star, for example, you almost have 300 speed, and for some reason, if you were to EX, 315. 300 isn't bad for a speed stat. Granted, it could be better, but... So you have Flame Wheel, removes frozen condition from the user, 10% chance of leaving the target burn 2 bar. It is what it is. It's not the greatest. X Speed All, you can get everyone's speed up to +4, which speed is very valuable because of move gauge stuff. We're staying strong. Apply status condition defense to the ally field of play. Removes all status conditions for all allies and pairs. Now, if you remember back in the day, I forgot which Plaza stage it was, but Arcanine was meta because of the Haunters applying Hypnosis, or was it Poison? I forgot which one it was. But you would use We're Standing Strong immediately when using Arcanine. I remember that week 1, or was it month 1? Oh my god, my memory. But if you want to blast to the past, just remember that if you're a day 1 player. I remember being the one person who knew that I remember being one of the only people who actually knew that tech. So I would be the one who brought Arcanine, and other people would just bring DPS. Then I would switch. I would buff everyone speed, switch. Like, I was the support man of that time. I was the MVP, bro. Then you got Flamethrower, attempts to chance leaving the opponent burned. It's no different than Flame Wheel, but whatever. And Grateful Friend, Flare Blitz, 240 BP. The more the use speed is raised, the greater the power of this move. So it has a built-in inertia. That's not bad. Now, going over the grid, once again, you should have this unit at least 3 out of 5, just because of because of the low rarity, right? So you have very good passives in this unit. Like Team Sharp Entry 1, you can be that one person who tops off ally crit rate. So they only need to use 1 Dire Hit Plus. So that saves a turn for everyone right off the bat. This alone makes her very valuable, along with speed support. They just need to be able to buff their offenses most of the way. Most. Here's why. So you have Flame Wheel, Flag Bearer 3. So when you're using Flame Wheel, 4% chance of raising the attack of Sync Pairs, and Flamethrower Hype Up. 4% chance of raising the special attack. So you can top off any ally offense with X Speed Pep Rally. You can max out everyone's speed all by yourself. Team Sharp Entry 1, you can top off ally crit rate. But then you have Sunny Disposition where your stats can drop. Granted with haste that doesn't mean much. You have Healing Sun, so you provide your own healing. We're Standing Strong, hit and heal. You give yourself gradual healing. You give yourself Healing Sun. You have Speeding Sun 1 with +6 speed. This unit is super good. A Group Fire Guard, you have damage reduction when getting hit by fire type moves. Granted, in Sun, where you want to use this unit with, that's a little bit of a double-edged sword. So personally, that's fine. It is whatever, but you can use them for whatever else. If you're not using them with a fire team, that is fine. Group Fire Guard to take fire hits. That's viable. TM Shielded, raises defense. Yeah, that's another thing about this unit. For a tank, you don't raise your defenses. So Shielded is fine. You have 2 sources of HP regen if you're using Sun. Scorcher, this is fine for what's it called? Stalling comps, of where they take more damage, of where the burn tick damage is greater. So the more Scorcher users you have, the more that burn tick damage is doing. So that's pretty good. Hostile Environment 4, a greater chance of applying said burn. So that's a 50%. That's a 4% increase for up to 50% whenever you use Flame Wheel and Flamethrower. This unit is a very good support for fire. Now, because Ho just came out, a question would be, is it better than Ho-Oh? Because Arcanine does not provide Sun, the answer has to be no. Ho is stronger because he provides Sun, but Arcanine does have some very good stuff in his kit, whereas Ho-Oh can't top off ally special attack or physical attack, unless if you get the sync buff thing with High 5, which that requires dupes, and it's a fair, so kind of good luck with that. Arcanine can just do that. So you would have another Sunsetter, Arcanine topping off, but then just your damage dealer would be solo damage dealing instead of Dual Striker, because I know Dual Striker is definitely preferred for most things. But you can definitely do it. Very good fire dead damage reduction. Like, Arcanine's a stupid good unit. Like, Arcanine definitely aged very well with the X speed all. Now it being able to go with +6. Healing stuff. Team Sharp Entry. I love that so much about this. Because this is 1 die hit, go. You don't need to worry about anything else. And yeah, this was a little bit of a short video, but everyone was pretty straight to the point. Didn't really get sidetracked. And yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from this, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.